I am holding in my hand a speaker that can produce 128 decibels.
Wow.
It can light up a 200-seat movie theater.
Man.
I weigh 124 pounds. I can pick it up.
That's awesome.
Right? We've added lightness.
I'm sure. How long did it take you to engineer the speakers?
It's about a 4-year process.
Wow. Well, you did an excellent job.
Okay, I'm running out of steam.
What's up, everybody? Haterade Cowboy. We are at CEDIA 2023 in Denver, Colorado, and I'm checking out some really cool gear. Right now, I'm at the booth with Row One, Grimani Systems, Storm Audio, and Seymour Excellence. Got the man himself, Anthony Grimani.
Hi,
Nice to
Jordan.
meet
How
you.
are you?
Pretty good.
Good.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Most people know you in the home theater realm, but give us a little bit of your backstory and then what we're going to talk about today.
My backstory. I have a sordid and long backstory. I guess I've been doing this for a while. I actually was lucky right out of college. I studied electrical engineering. Right out of college, I got a job at Dolby Labs, the people who developed all kinds of different things, including noise reduction and surround encoding, decoding technologies. So, like young kid, fresh out of college, I started working there. And a lot of what I worked on was Dolby Surround and Dolby Surround Pro Logic in the early days.
Okay.
So it was a passion of mine to have, immersive audio, surround audio as it was called.
Thank you for that.
And yeah, you're welcome. And it was really fun. 5 years into that, I got a call from a recruiter to go join Lucasfilm to start the Home THX program. So the idea of Home THX was to take all of the knowledge that got developed in building really nice movie theaters into the home and helping integrators, CEDIA type integrators, in picking the right speakers, picking the right surround decoder, the right technology, so that you could in somebody's home reproduce the sound of a really good screening room. I did that for 10 years.
Man, I didn't know that.
And then after 10 years, I had the itch of starting up my own company.
Okay.
And so 24 years ago, I started a company called PMI Engineering, which is role as a consultant is to design high quality home theaters. And we've done 1,000 projects in 24 years. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
To be fair, I don't do them all on my own. I have a crew of people.
Obviously, yeah.
They do stuff that's way better than I can figure out how to do on my own. And we win CEDIA awards for best theater year after year after year because the documentation is gorgeous, the performance is gorgeous. It's all fantastic. Now, in the process of doing those 1,000 rooms, I started to realize that, hey, I wish we could have speakers that were a little bit more modern than what we're working with. Here we use this sound system, and we made it work, but it had these issues and those issues that made it not quite perform, or it worked, but it took a really long time. This problem, that problem, and I started to have my wish list, my laundry list of. I wish I could find a speaker system that did all these things.
Okay.
And all these things would make it easier to install, better performance. Faster, more powerful, whatever.
The
it's
whole
like a long
package,
thing, including reliability, ease of use, a whole bunch of different things. And I just decided, okay, I'll just make them myself. Nobody is making that, and so about 5 years ago, launched this new company, Grimani Systems. Put my name on it with 2 other partners. I'm not alone doing it. We now have a crew of 10 guys designing, engineering, and manufacturing the product. And I like to call it either ultra high definition speakers, or I very often say this is a sound system for the 21st century. People go like, well, what does that mean? Well, most speakers are designed the same way as a speaker would have been designed 30, 40, 50 years ago, before the 21st century. Basically a wood box with some drivers, a passive crossover. You put them all in there, you put up, go. And in the world of immersive audio, like we're doing in this demo, which is 23 speakers, it gets difficult. It gets hard to do. So we designed these speakers that are way more modern, way more advanced. And some of the advancements is technology to have a way better coverage in the room, so that at any seat you're sitting on, there's not a sweet spot. So the rooms we equip with these speakers, there isn't really a sweet spot. You can sit here, 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 here. They sound great
too.
And there's a very special design in those speakers using these waveguides and the way we build the enclosures and all that to get there. The other thing is that they're all active.
Okay.
So there's an amplifier for the tweeter, an amplifier for the mid-range, an amplifier for the woofer, and that amplifier is all crossed over actively using digital filters. Way more advanced than the way a speaker designed in the 70s would have been. And that's the 1970s. And then the other thing that's really cool is that they're all addressed digitally.
Okay.
they don't have to be. You can plug analog, but what we're actually showing here is a stream where the surround decoder, a Storm Audio Evo, is feeding a digital stream through one Cat6 cable with all 23 channels in it.
Nice.
And feeding a network switch that's then feeding all of the amps that go to the speakers. So everything stays in the digital domain.
Is that Dante?
It's AES67.
Okay.
Which is just another flavor of it. We can run Dante, we can run AES67. There's reasons for some applications to use one or the other.
Gotcha.
Either way, it's a better way to go. It's 21st century. And finally, once you're in that mode and it's all basically computing enabled, we can do all of the connections, the configuration, all from a computer. We can then tune the system from a computer, and then we can monitor the system from our office for a system that may be in Bulgaria.
Oh, wow.
We sold the system in Bulgaria, and at any moment, the client in Bulgaria can call me and go, "Can you check that my system's working?" And go, "Yep, looks like all the speakers are there, everything's working right. I can run some sound tests." All
Modern
cool.
technology.
It's modern. So what I'm describing sounds like science fiction, right, for speakers, and it is, except that it's here now. What I'm describing has been done in the computing industry for a long time in control and power to be able to remote communicate with stuff. We're just the first company that's bringing that into the speaker side.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, so I got a demo of this booth that we're here at right now at CEDIA, and honestly, I didn't know that you had your speakers here. I was thinking it was, you did the acoustic treatment and all this stuff. Pristine with the Storm processor and the Grimani. What did you say the actual names of the speakers are? The model?
So the series that's in here is Rixos.
Okay.
R-I-X-O-S, Rixos, which actually comes from the Greek language, and it actually means shallow. So one of the things we did in these speakers is rather than have these big behemoths that are hard to hide behind a screen or behind stretched fabric, the reason you didn't see the speakers is they're all hidden behind this decorative dress, right? Well, if the speakers are really deep, you can't hide them. And so we made a line of speakers. That's one of the advancements, is they're all really shallow. They may be tall and a little bit wide, but they're shallow so you can hide them, right? So that's the Rixos line.
Okay. Yeah, it sounds very impressive in there. There's a lot of slam. There's highs or crisp. It's not. Sometimes you get speakers and they get to a certain level, certain SPL, and it's like, oh, my
Ouch.
ears.
Yeah.
Those weren't like that. They had it cranking up, and it was pristine. So. And I imagine, are these your speakers over here? We can take some B-roll later. Okay, so we'll get you some B-roll later to show you. But yeah, they're very, very shallow. Now, do you have any floor standards, or is it all just one, to put behind the screen? Or
So we have a whole variety of them. Hold on one second. I'm going to go get a speaker. This is the smallest speaker we make.
Okay.
It's called the Rixos SND. Our line of speakers, the models are very, very confusing. The largest speaker is called the XL. Then the next model down is called the L. The next model down is called the M. And then the next model down is called S. This is a version of the S. This is our small speaker. This particular one is set up as a bookshelf speaker. Okay, it can go on a stand. It can go in a bookshelf. This form factor is designed as a bookshelf. There's a grill that goes in front of this that's sitting on the floor over there to hide it. So looks like a speaker. This over here looks like a horn.
Does look like a horn.
Not a horn at all. That thing you said about those aggressive sounding speakers, those are, we'll just say, not very well designed speakers that are made to play loud. They'll use certain type of compression driver with a horn, and their main job is just to throw a lot of sound.
Okay.
And they end up, when you crank them up, they sound aggressive.
Yeah.
We're making speakers that are audiophile grade that also play loud. And that's kind of an innovation too. The way to do that is we developed this waveguide, which his job is not to work like a trumpet, to like throw amplified sound. It's actually almost the inverse. Its role is to take the sound of the tweeter that's in here, which is actually, in this particular speaker, is pointed down.
Okay, interesting.
Right, there's a tweeter here.
Okay, yeah, I see it.
Right, and its role is to actually disperse the sound of the tweeter evenly from 70 degrees here through 0 out to 70 degrees across the entire range of sounds.
Okay, that's pretty
So
impressive.
whether you're right in front of the speaker, or if you got to your buddy's house late and you're sitting in the front right and you're sitting over there, you get the same sound. And there's no hot spotting. That was one of the things on our list, is like, man, I really would want a speaker where you can actually sit anywhere and you don't feel like you're being beamed here and lost over there.
Somebody's getting a different experience right next to you.
Right. So in that room, whether you sit in the middle or the left or the right, it's about the same experience. So this
mind
is
if I
our
hold it?
smallest. Yep, you can hold that.
Yeah,
So this
it's
is
got
the
a nice good weight to it. So
right. So this is the smallest one. Now the version of this that's made for in-wall application, this guy's 6 inches deep. There's an in-wall version that's only 4 inches deep, and a little bit longer and wider. Same cabinet volume, just form factored so that it's shallower, and then you can stick it into a wall or on the wall hidden by stretch fabric. So that's one of the things we're doing also that's a bit different to other manufacturers is we essentially have a speaker module, and then we can morph the cabinet to adapt the application. Rather than go, here's our speaker, you figure out how to do it. We just go, well, what do you need? We'll make it fit for your application. That was another one on our wish list, is like, we want to make this easy for the installer.
Right.
And we go, what do you need? What are you trying to do? Are you trying to do that? Okay, well, we'll make the speaker this way for you.
awesome. So what is the woofer made out of?
So this consistency over here, it's a fiber. It's not carbon fiber. It's a different material. This is an Italian-made woofer that is very efficient. So 1 watt will produce a lot of sound over there.
Okay.
The tweeter in here is a French-made Audax tweeter. It sounds like an international thing, it plays. The funny thing about this little bitty thing, it's like a little David in front of Goliath. It plays incredibly loud for
It
its
does.
size.
I can attest to it personally.
Yeah.
Well, Anthony, I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thank you for
thank
taking
you.
some time out to talk about your company and your speakers.
Yeah.
I'm glad I got to hear them, and you're doing an awesome job, man, in the home theater community. And I didn't know that about THX. That's very
Yeah.
interesting. So
Yeah.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you, Jordan.
Yes, sir.
All right.